Consistency and effort are the biggest success metrics in today's world. Today, I want to talk about why this is and how you can maybe improve this in this episode of the Pursue podcast. And with that being said, let's dive in. So, first of all, what do I mean by consistency and effort? Consistency for me is defined of doing an action over and over every single day, even if you don't feel like it. This is a high correlation with discipline, but consistency is a part of discipline and is the metric that you can actually manage and track over time. If you are trying to track discipline, you can't really do that. Discipline is a combination of willpower and pushing through and whatever. But consistency, you can track. If you're saying to yourself you want to reach out to 5 people every single day, you can check a box every single day if you did it or if you didn't do it. And at the end of the month, you see if you were consistent or you weren't. And consistency for me is the biggest success metric, because if you can be consistent over a really long time horizon, you will become successful at anything you do. In Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, there is the saying of the famous 10,000 hour rule, that you have really mastered something after 10,000 hours. To reach those 10,000 hours, you have to be consistent at something, at that one thing. And you can only master 2 to 3 things in your life if you're absolutely dedicated. Everybody can do anything they want, but not everything they want. You have to choose what you want to be really amazing at. And this is a big decision and you will find your way into it. But consistency over long time horizon is the key. So this is for definition of consistency and what I think about it. And effort for me is input given. How much hard work did you put into it? How much effort, how much blood, sweat and tears, how much late nights and early mornings did you put into an idea, how many sacrifices did you put into something? Because effort is something really a little amount of people are willing to put into something. If you're putting in effort through discipline, that takes willpower, takes sacrifices from you, you are already ahead of, let's say, 70 to 80% of people. Because most people today just want to do what's necessary. If you go one step further and always do one thing more, that's how you get ahead. That's how you are applying extra effort. Imagine it's like connecting 2 dots, 2 things, while building something. But then applying extra effort to make sure that it's holding together. Imagine 2 wooden planks maybe. You can glue them together like this or put a tape on top of it so it doesn't separate. Sure. But effort applying is putting glue in between and then pushing together with everything that you have until it sticks. And then consistency comes into play. It's pushing those wooden planks together for as long as it takes until it's rock solid. And this could be years to come, and you just have to push through. This is consistency and effort to me. So why do I think this is important? As I said, many people in today's world, the most amount of people are not willing to put in this effort and consistency into something. They are just here to do the minimum and get out what they deserve, what they think deserve. But most people want more for themselves, and if you want more for yourself, you have to put in extra effort and extra consistency to level up further, to be worth more and get more in return. It's basic principles, economic principles, behavioral principles, whatever you want to call it. But if you put more in, you get more out. This is what you have to understand. And putting more in doesn't need to be putting in more hours, because the hours of sleep you get are really important as well. You need to get enough sleep to be more productive and be healthier and live longer. Those are all metrics that come into play as well. But putting in more is risking a certain amount of capital to afford a tool that gives you higher leverage. If you can double your leverage for $500 or $1,000 by purchasing a tool, this will give you back so much more. Think of it like a wrench. If you're doing everything by hand, every single screw, it will take years to build a basic house. But if you have a wrench and you have machines, you will be able to put together a really basic house in maybe half a year. I don't know how long it takes to build houses, but you understand this principle. And that's extra effort applied, because you have to think outside the box, take risks, put in more research, more, think about what you could change or do to your life to give more leverage to this opportunity. And then consistency comes into play again. Consistency is keeping your baseline. At some point, being consistent is the new standard. You just want to keep on going, and you will see outsized returns by staying consistent. And that comes through the compounding impact. Compounding by consistency is that the more time you spend doing something, the better and more efficient and effective you get. And then if you spend the same time again, you will get more output. And through this higher output, you will learn even more and be able to reinvest more into it to get even better and a bigger amount better, so that you can grow faster and faster and faster. This is the loop you want to get in. If you're getting into this loop of continuous improvement and one improvement being better than the one before, then you're unstoppable. If you can keep your improvements linear and just keep on improving, you are on a good path. If your improvements are declining, you're flattening out. And if you're not improving at all, we don't even have to talk about it. But this is how I think about it personally. And consistency is just the baseline. And then if you are able to put in more effort through leverage, more time, a little more sacrifices, or drinking less alcohol, or whatever it is, it could be for any matter in your life, then this consistency, this baseline, just jumps to another level. And then you remove something else that's holding you back, and you jump another level. And then you buy a tool that helps you improve even faster, you jump another level. You hire a trainer, you jump another level. But staying consistent is the baseline, because if you are not staying consistent and you're falling off all the time, this leverage doesn't come into play because you have to actually practice this and get better at it. This is how I think about consistency and effort applied. And if you implement this and keep consistency high and always try to put in more effort than needed, you will see your curve going up. And one thing about consistency as well is consistency isn't about doing 100% every single day, 110% every single day. There will be downtimes. Maybe you are sick at some point. Maybe you have an injury. Maybe your grandparents died. Whatever it might be. Maybe. If you're consistent, it means that you're getting back into it immediately afterwards. That you're doing a single smallest action every single day at least, even if you're feeling bad. Let's say you have your consistency level high and you're doing 100 outreaches a day. Then something bad happens. If you are still doing 5 to 10 outreaches that day, you're still keeping up the consistency and putting in the effort and learning just a little bit, improving just a little bit. If you're able to do that over a long period of time, with the vision of the horizon really far away, you will be able to become great. So I hope this helped. And once again, effort is not immediately correlated to more time, but in the beginning it will be. But over time it will become more leverage, less vices, more sacrifices. And that's times consistency and improving all the time. That's how you get above and beyond. And the bar to success is really low. If you're doing this at any level, you're way beyond the average person. So keep this in mind and go apply consistently.